Welcome to Left Leaning Ladies. This episode is going to be a little bit about small acts of resistance. So, not only are we content creators, social media managers, but we're also out there doing acts of resistance. And I know that a lot of you are too. So, today's topic is going to be about small acts of resistance and how they add up to be impactful, effective, especially in rural communities. I applaud you for, trying to do new things. I think that the whole charity thing was a wonderful idea. Are there any best practices that you'd like to share that maybe you learned from that?
Well, as with everything, it depends on the charity. I mean, they all need different things. But one of the things that I learned about was just some of the charities that are out there that are working behind the scenes that most people don't even know exist or exactly what it is that they're doing. And they're making a huge difference. I really enjoyed talking to the ladies from Project Third Day Panhandle, which is a group that works out of the Raymond School District, sending home bags of snacks and food items for kids on the third day of a long weekend, because not everybody's budget is stretching to cover that. They also do some sack lunches in the summertime that they distribute at different places. And, it was just an idea that they picked up from somebody else and thought, hey, we can do this. And now these several years later, they have an entire building that they have dedicated to their outreach and what they're doing, and a really great, solid group of people, all just from a couple of compassionate people that wanted to do something. And I think they should get more attention.
I think that's wonderful. Like, that's what we're talking about, right? They had an idea, they put it into action, and then it became something really large. What were you going to say, Sasha?
It's also really eye-opening to hear from these people and them explain how many people are in need in your surrounding areas that you wouldn't expect it to be that high.
Yes. The Harvest of Hope Food Pantry spoke at our meeting. And one of the things that they were speaking about was how much lower the income level is than it looks when you just look at basic statistics, because it only takes a few really high income people to pull it up. Mm-hmm. And if you knock off the top 10%, then that number comes down so much, and it makes you realize what the majority of the people are living with and dealing with. And, the Free Laundry Day, I thought was just an incredible thing that I had not known about until I heard they lost funding. Yeah. And then I was, it's like, oh, this is a great idea. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And you don't really realize how something as simple as just being able to put on some fresh clothes can make your day a whole lot better.
Yeah, absolutely. I say, Chelsa, you probably know more about that because you have been involved with that.
Yeah.
And do you want to speak a little bit about the laundry
so days? I love that. They go to the different laundromats across Macoupin and Montgomery County, and they offer 3 free loads of laundry to anybody. But then also I think they provide everything that you need for the laundry as well. But then also you can get substance abuse resources and mental health resources while you're there. So you can get connected to vital resources. And we see a lot of unhoused folks hanging around the laundromats. So it's just meeting people where they're at already and just getting them resources. And I got sober from the program through that is now St. Francis Way, and they help provide these programs. And Macoupin and Montgomery County ROSC is really important to me because they just are a resource hub of all the different mental health and substance use resources. And yes, their funding got cut, and they weren't able to keep up these free laundry days. And it's completely, I think it's all based on donations right now because government funding was cut too. So we just had a fund where we just started our fundraiser for them, and we are already halfway to our goal. And I think we're just going to stick with it so that they have funding and just kind of go throughout May and let people know about it, because we're not here just to be resistance. We're also here just to support our local communities and make sure that they're thriving, because right now they're hurting, and so we have to make sure we're filling the gaps where government funding has been lost. We have to come as a community and come together to support these.
I'm glad you said that because when I think of resistance, I think of mutual aid, community, meeting people where they're at and not necessarily pushing an agenda. That's not what it's about. We have to help people. And, because of what is going on in the funding situation that has been cut, we have to be able to pool our resources, organize and do what we can. And I think that is a form of resistance, don't you?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I think that what they're doing is amazing. And I applaud Macoupin Indivisible for putting, is it Macoupin and Montgomery that are doing it?
it's
Okay.
Macoupin.
Just Macoupin is doing the fundraising for it. And you just put that up today.
Yes.
So,
within less than an hour, we had half the funding already covered for our first goal. And then I just told them we'll just get as much as we can because they've had to turn people away when they run out of money. They can't keep feeding the quarters in. So yeah, it's something near and dear to my heart. So I hope that we can keep up. And I think we're going to try to pick a different cause, maybe once a month,
great.
and just try to help raise funds in different ways. So if you ever have any ideas for different easy and fun fundraisers, I'd like to switch it up so it's not all the same. So let us know. Yes.
I mean, I think that's great. You never know who's willing to give and what they're willing to do unless you ask.
Right.
So that's kind of what, along the same lines, there are some things that just, regular folks who are not a part of any group can do, right? So like writing postcards to people who haven't voted in a while or for your favorite candidate. You could share posts. So if Chelsa has a post out, you could share that and get some more traction on that. You could also join nonpartisan groups like League of Women Voters. So they work on, voting rights and democracy kind of things. You could also write letters to the editor. That has been proven to be very effective.
Show up to school board meetings and to your city council meetings and to county board meetings. Show up and learn what's going on because otherwise so much goes on that you have no idea about.
That has been proven.
Yes.
In just our situation.
Yes.
What are your favorite small acts of resistance that kind of add up?
I also like to shop local and woman-owned, queer-owned, Black-owned.
Yep.
That matters. Where my money is going matters to me. And I always, because I'm a micro-influencer or micro-creator, I have, my favorites list. Yep. And they all mostly align with my values and my morals. And I try to show up there consistently and always and trying to shine a light on them because we need more of that in our small towns and our communities.
Absolutely. I also think, showing up for the party. So, you might be independent, you might be a Democrat, and you never know what your Democratic Party needs. So just showing up to the meetings, signing up for things. You could be walking in parades or setting up for meetings or organizing fundraisers. You could be doing social media. You could be doing phone calls. You could be the one door knocking. They need help, especially when we've got candidates. We've had signature drives to get candidates on the ballot here in Illinois. Independent candidates are now asking for signatures. So, if you have a favorite independent candidate, you could probably organize a little signature drive for them. And I'm sure that they would appreciate the help. What other kind of little acts of resistance can you guys think of or has been your favorite?
Mutual aid.
Mutual aid.
That kind of goes or it's at least related to the charity stuff, but it's just about people in the community coming together to make sure that everybody has what they need.
Definitely. We all live in the community and we all know others in the community who need help. One of the other things that I thought was interesting, besides the protesting, protest is always a welcome event. We need people to protest. But if you aren't a protester, some of the other things that you could probably do are donate for the poster board and the markers or waters for protests. Or we've even had poster making parties, right?
Yes,
Those are
sign
fun.
making parties.
Yeah,
Yeah,
sign
they
making
are so fun, and it gets us all together. And just even if just throw some money at some of the resistance people in the resistance, because we're all using our own funds to make all this happen most of the time, and a lot of us are like we're a year out, and it gets getting bare bones, you know.
And we've had people before, like at protesting in Alton. One day, suddenly a truck showed up with a bunch of pizzas, and they're like, somebody
Yeah.
called and sent you guys these pizzas. And in Litchfield, we had some parents drop by with little kids on one of the bitter cold days, and they had those little hot hands things for
Yeah.
us, which, that was a little something that they could do,
Right.
that, they could have the conversation with their child that they thought was appropriate and explain what was happening, and just took them a couple of minutes, and then they went about their day. But it kind of meant a lot to us.
Yeah.
For sure. That's amazing. Amazing little acts of resistance. What about, that's all I have.
Okay.
That's it.
Is that all you had, Chelsa?
I mean, I have more.
Yeah, definitely. Let's hear it.
Okay. Always got more.
Yeah.
You can pull your money from big banks and put them in local credit unions. Attend a city council meeting. I already said that. Put a yard sign up, even if you are in a red area. I know it's kind of scary because you're like, are they going to come for me? But put it up anyway. We have JB front and center proud in our yard. So
me
the
too.
only person in my whole town who has any non-Republican signs.
yeah, it's important, I think, just for visibility to
Yes.
show other people like you are not alone. We're out here.
And I think it's important too. Because we always have political signs in our front yard. For the past like 6 years, we've had signs out in our yard, and we just change them out when the new election comes. And it does spark conversation among the neighbors. So if we're out there talking to the neighbors, they're like, so you got a JB sign in your yard, and I don't know about him. But that gives you an opportunity to say, well, here's why I'm voting for him.
Yeah.
And here's why, I think you should too. But it gives you a chance to bring it up.
Yep.
Yes. How do you feel, Chelsa, about not spending money at businesses that don't align with your thoughts?
I think you should absolutely keep your money and not spend them at places that you don't align with. If they don't align with your morals and values, especially right now, I know that we have to, in everyday life, you're going
Right.
to have to do some things, but if you can help it, try not to go to those establishments.
I agree.
Yeah.
And it's not easy in the small communities
Yeah.
because your
No.
choices get very limited very fast.
Yes.
But it's important enough to do it, I think.
And also, be the person at Thanksgiving or Easter that says something when your uncle is being racist. Like, call it out. I think maybe that's how we got here, because we all were like trying to be kind and not say anything to all these people who were like bigots and racists. And then it just emboldened them, like, that it's okay. So I will call it as I see it now. So I'm not just going to sit idly by while people are being terrible. So I think just being the one to have the big mouth and say something, call it as you see it.
I agree with you, Chelsa. And, along those lines, I'm not suggesting other people do this, but I'm not afraid to cut people out of my life either, because, you can have all the conversations that you want, but if the behavior does not change, and I just end up being more mad than glad, I'm cutting them.
Yep. Block.
Yep.
Be done.
Yep. Done. Another part of that is correcting online too. A lot of times I'll see some misinformation, like not just like their opinions or whatever, but straight up misinformation.
Yeah.
I think it's really important that we, tactfully correct them on, facts that are blatantly wrong. I think that, everyone should do that when they can. I don't know.
That's a full-time job.
Yeah.
It really is.
There's so much of it. You can't
Yeah.
even keep up with it.
It is a lot.
It is. It is. What else? This was a downer.
Wow, guys. Getting so deep.
Yes.
We
Should have brought some comments.
You're gonna have to start
Jeez.
reading
Everybody
comments
sad?
out loud again.
Yeah.
I know.
Oh dear.
We do a couple that were different, but I don't know.